with the sisters, man, with the black women, out here, and the marriage rate being so low, and all these chicks got a lot of kids and all this and da 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 da. I just came to the realization, man. It makes sense to me in this life. The chicks don't really give a fuck who they have kids with. They may complain, and all this and that because they say, oh, well, the dad, he ain't around. I honestly think at this stage, that's the least of their worries. They're more concerned about child support. Well, the only way you're going to get the child support is if a motherfucker got a legitimate job. See, a lot of these chicks have babies with dope dealers. You know what I'm saying? Dope dealers don't pay no taxes. You know what I mean? So while they in a relationship with the dope dealer, they going to get all the benefits of that. Typically, a couple dollars here, get the name brand this, couple purses, maybe a car, whatever. Okay. But when they break up, now that cuts that nigga off unless they still fucking them. Like the only leverage a lot of these chicks, these baby mamas got who think like that is the pussy. Okay. Pussy could make a motherfucker want to throw you a couple of dollars or want to do something for you. So that's the only leverage they got. And see, when motherfuckers came out with that WAP record, that kind of embodied that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of chicks, that's their only leverage. They're not offering you nothing else but the pussy. That's it, that's all. And so these baby mamas, a lot of these baby mamas, that's all they putting on the table. So it makes sense why they have fucking 5 or 6 different kids, though none of them look alike, about 5 or 6 different niggas. Because really, that's 5 or 6 different resources there. That's 5 or 6 different niggas. Well, he gonna buy me a purse. This one gonna buy me a pair of Jordans. That one gonna take me out to eat. This one, he gonna take me out of town. See, because it ain't no secret. I mean, you're less likely to get it all from one man. Especially if you got a track record like that and you got a bunch of kids. You're going to have to get a bunch of options going. It's just like if you fill out a job application, you may not get that first, like if you apply for a job, that first application, ain't no guarantees you're going to get a job from that first app. You may have to fill out 10, 11 apps to get what you want. And it's the same principle with the chicks. You know what I'm saying? So they'll get a bunch of different dudes and have babies with a bunch of different dudes because that's all the more all the more likely to get a bunch of different shit from a bunch of different guys all at the same time. Now see, here's the other side of the game. I just peeped this. Now, when they're young, what a motherfucker do when the kids is like arm babies, motherfuckers don't really take care of the kids. They take the kids and put them off on their grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to figure this shit been happening for generations. And the grandmas will say, oh, well, I could take care of the grandkid better than I took care of my own kid. So now I can learn from my mistakes, with the new kid, with the grandchild. So you ain't got to worry about taking care of the kids. Now, if you got 6 different families, you can push them off in 6 different households. Meanwhile, you out in the street still recruiting to get more shit. And it's not even about the kids. It ain't got nothing to do with the kids. A lot of these chicks, these baby mama chicks that's not married and ain't doing nothing that would increase their chances of getting married, they think like everything is business and everybody is a resource. You know what I'm saying? So what do? While they're young, they push the kids off here, push the kids off there. They may spend a little time with them here or there. But ultimately, the grandmothers is taking care of the kids. Because guess what? I'm still out. It ain't even about getting dick. Like any chick that will put out the lie that she's single, she may be single, but she's lying if she's saying she ain't got options, because every woman in the world got options. Even if they sharing the same dude, she still has an option there. If she can go to this guy and get something from him, that's an option. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's dick, whether it's money, whether it's something for the kids, that is still an option. So as far as I'm concerned, don't let no baby mama, no chick with kids say, oh, I ain't got no options. You probably never hear even say that. Because she's always got options. They think, to me, they think business, resource. It's not even an emotional thing. So it's okay to have, you know, a kid with Johnny, a kid with Billy, a kid with Tony, a kid with, goddamn it, Gus over here, because that's what they're having them for. In addition to the fact that, you know, you're gonna get the Section 8, you know, you're gonna get the WIC, you're gonna get the link. None of that type of shit goes to the baby fathers. None of that. With us, well, not with us, because I'm not a baby father, but with the guys, it's either you work or you starve. That's what it comes to. You know, and I guess in that light, it makes sense why. I mean, it doesn't excuse these niggas from not taking care of what they brought here, what they're responsible for. But I guess it makes sense because on the inside of it, you know that she got Link, WIC, Section 8, all these other state and government benefits. Then shit, fuck that, she's straight. And they'll tell you, you always hear the chicks, ain't nobody gonna come out there and say they kids ain't taken care of. Every last one of them baby mamas will tell you the same story. They well taken care. My kids are straight. My kid, because they are. They are. So if they fucking with you, it's not to get nothing for the kids, I think, to an extent. I think a lot of that is for them. You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. Anybody with half a brain know that if it's a nigga in the street that, you know, ain't no 50-year-old dope dealers, so you're going to either end up dead or in jail, but they don't care. Because they're looking to see what they can get from you while you're here. Okay? And then they on to the next one. So they just keep on playing the game because they can always reap the benefits of the game. See? And marriage is a total disadvantage to a chick who thinks like that. Because, good example, I'll tell you something else that I think goes down. Now, with these baby mamas, these single mothers, baby mamas, whatever you want to call them, they always have a bunch of kids, especially the ones that got a bunch of kids. It makes sense why. Because the kid's role is to serve the mother. They ain't getting no childhood. They get a childhood when they're too young to remember. But what I think what happens is they start them out at an early age doing grown people shit. Good example. You know, they have them doing chores and all this around the house. You know, and I don't think it's so much as to teach them to be responsible. I think it's to serve the mother. So that's all the less she got to do. So, good example. The girls are going to be the workers. And the boys are going to be the man of the house. Okay. So the man in the house job, he'll get that respect and all that so long as he's providing for the mother. That's his job. Because your daddy wasn't there, he wasn't around. They'll throw that story at you. Well, that's all you got to go on. If it's your mother telling you this, then it's all you know. You're going to take it as a fact. You don't know the whole details and you ain't heard both sides of the story, which is even more incentive to keep the dad, the fathers, far away from the kids so they won't hear the other side. So the baby mothers are manipulating shit. They control the narrative because you in their house and what they say is law, whether you agree or not. At the end of the day, their role is to serve the mother. When they're old enough to do on their own, or not even, or really even before then, they're being put in responsible positions for the mother's irresponsibility. You see what I'm saying? Because they could just as easily do something as simple as pick a decent guy who got his shit together, who's responsible, and everything will be cool. But you don't stand to gain as much from a husband than you would from being a single mother. Because you always, see, it's a hustle. See, that's what everybody's promoting today. A lot of these bras that talk about they rise and grind, they hustle and all this. That's what it is. It's a hustle. They've turned having kids into a hustle. Just like when the kids get killed. They get killed, the state send them money. You're going to get that little check. If you start GoFundMe, guess what? You're going to get some more money. As long as you can play on people's emotions, you're gonna get some more money. You know what I'm saying, from that whole event. Even though the kid wasn't shit, even though the kid was out here doing the same shit his daddy was doing, hustling, selling dope. And see, another thing, like I said, I can go down my timeline all day long on Facebook, and now my feed, my Facebook feed, and see all these mothers around my age with their gangbanging ass son. And they stand right next to him just smiling and cheesing and happy and proud, talking about my baby this and my baby that. But it makes good sense. Why? Because at the end of the day, she's condoning it because that kid is not only the man of the house now, according to her, which, number one, you should never send a boy to do a man's job. A man knows that. But a woman, she probably don't give a fuck about that because all she's concerned about is what that kid can do for her. And he out there carjacking, stealing, robbing, and all this to bring a couple of bucks home to mama. She all right with that because if push come to shove, guess what? She ain't gonna see no jail time for it. He gonna be the one doing the jail time when he gets caught. Not if, but when he gets caught. You know what I'm saying? So she all good. So she basically take away those kids' childhood or limit their childhood in order to serve and work for her. So again, the girls is gonna be working. You know, the girls is gonna be the ones, typically the ones that's in school, typically the ones that's got legitimate jobs. That just seemed to be the tone today. You know. Meanwhile, the boys is out in the street. A lot of them from that type of environment, they go out in the streets. You know, they hustling, they selling dope, they stealing, robbing, and all this, only to get that to bring it back home to mom. And while you putting your life on the line knowingly or not, whether you know it or not, you know, mama's still gonna be alive, reaping the benefits from your death. And all the while you was living, she reaping the benefits. So she could just sit at home all day, not do nothing, and live like a queen. You know what I'm saying? Not do nothing but at best spread her legs, because that's the only leverage she got. You know what I'm saying? So whereas with a husband is gonna, if you have a man in the house, a man ain't gonna allow a lot of this bullshit that you see today. Good example, if you got a little girl that's all of like 8 years old, in my opinion, I think a man would think that girl's too young to be on the stove with hot grease, or too young to be, you know, ironing, or too young to be you know, doing all this grown shit, or too young to be going to the laundromat by herself. But those mothers will send those kids out to do that. Because for one, the mother ain't got to do it. She ain't in a position to tell you to do it. She the boss, it's her shit. She brought you here, she your mother. So they could always throw that over their head, right? So in turn, they make the young kids responsible for shit that they not ready to be responsible for. So when shit happens, so that goes into the whole bag about the missing children. You see what I'm saying? That goes into the whole bag about black genocide. See, and we wonder why so many of these girls are missing, and we wonder why so many of these black boys are being murdered. This is why. This is exactly why. You know what I mean? So they being basically thrown to the wolves. They being sent out there to do grown people shit, and they not grown. These are still kids. Motherfuckers can't even wipe their ass right, and you got them out here by themselves, unsupervised, going to the laundromat, going to get groceries. Dude, that's grown people shit. We didn't do that fucking shit when I was a kid. Because we had a man there and a woman. Totally different dynamic. But these baby mamas don't think they as stupid as they might appear to be. They smart than a motherfucker. They smart, but they're wrong, as far as I'm concerned, if they have that mentality. And that's what it seems like. Because what sense does it make to have a bunch of different kids by a bunch of different niggas? Except for all the benefits that they stand to gain because of it. See what I'm saying? So you send the boy out there. You okay that he sell dope. Now he too young. He not old enough to get a job. And see how that go? Now check this out. So he out there 12, 11, 13 years old. He ain't old enough to get a job, but mama need him. Mama needs some help. So what's the next best thing? Robbing, stealing, selling dope. Ain't no age limit on selling dope or robbing or none of that. Boom. There it is. He gonna take that bread. Yeah, he gonna be back and forth in juvie, of course. Was he told about that? Probably not. You know. And so that's the consequence of the motherfucking game. Because it ain't no coincidence that this shit happens as often as it does. There's a reason behind it, and I personally believe they're being set up. They're being sent out there by the mother, which in turn, you know, their lives may get cut short in the process. Because there's a whole lot of other kids with guns and all this. You know what I'm saying? That'll be out here trying to get at them. Because they got sent out by their mamas too. So they on straight up survival mode because of their mamas. They don't even get a chance to be children. That's why. Because they got to play grown up. And if you listen to some of these documentaries, motherfuckers will tell you, man, I had to grow up fast, or, you know, my mama didn't have this, my daddy. They always throw that in there. My daddy wasn't there. But why? Why wasn't he there? And did you ever stop to think that maybe she was just, because the roles didn't reverse so much, that maybe she had a baby with the nigga knowing she didn't want to stay with him. But see, people have kids, people get together for all different kind of reasons. But see, a lot of these bros, I think, they have kids with motherfuckers they know they don't want to deal with. That's why it's so easily just, I can't stand him. She couldn't stand him before. But that don't mean that she wouldn't fuck him. Because clearly she did. That's happened before. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been to that. People that laid down with a motherfucker that they really didn't care for. Just because they could, or maybe they were sexually attracted to him or whatever. But sure, that's very possible. You know what I mean? So I don't think they would be any different. They not out here. I don't think they out here looking to be in that type of relationship. And I think what happens, honestly, I think when that plan with sending the kids out there to go and take care of the shit that they should be taking care of doesn't go through, and when the baby daddies ain't kicking in, yeah, you'll get the government shit and all of that. But the thing that I think that really pushes them towards being in a relationship is when they really get emotionally attached to somebody, or when they start getting lonely. You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, it's just business as usual with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even the kids, it's all business. It's all, what can you do for me? And then they come at the niggas in the street, what can you do for me? You know, but if they get to a point to when they start getting lonely, that's when they start crying about, oh, I want to be in a relationship. Or it could just be game. It could just be game, because like Pac say, we learned our game from a woman. So they the masters of the game. You know what I'm saying? Whatever little bit that we got, you know they're going to give it all to you, but whatever little bit that we learned from them, that's all the little bit we know, but they the creators of the game. They got leverage. You know what I'm saying? With the pussy. That's their game. Niggas are, and like I say, it ain't no secret. Niggas will fuck anything. Niggas don't give a fuck. You ain't got to be cute. You ain't got to be none of that. Niggas will fuck anything. Straight up. That's just the reality. And the chicks know that. And they use that to their advantage. You see what I'm saying? You think a lot of these bras is out here, these baby mamas and shit, welfare moms and all this is out here buying fucking Gucci bags? Hell no. They get somebody else to pay for it for them. And there's some trick motherfuckers that'll go out here and do that. And that's why they can have 3 or 4 kids and still be fucking with niggas in the street. That's why. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly why. Because this new nigga, he don't know me. Oh shit, I'll do this, I'll do that. You know, blah, 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 blah. Shit, I'm gonna see if I can get him to buy me this. That's the game. You know, all over their kids and all this and that. You know, I think it's a poor way to be a mother. Personally, I don't think that's any kind of mother. That's just a hustler. You know, that ain't nothing to glorify to me. Cause I mean, shit. In my mind, you can't play the game forever. But some of them think they could. I mean, you know, that's why you can't shame them. You know, you can't go out there and say, "Oh, you're too old, you're too fat, you know, you out of your prime and all this." You can't tell them that. Shit. God damn it. Cause they validation come through motherfuckers fucking them. So they gotta be of some value if a motherfucker will fuck. And wait. And a step further, if they don't not only fuck, but they spending some money too, oh shit. That's what it is. That's where the arrogance comes from. You know, cause it ain't like us. You can have a motherfucker out here, you know, motherfucker having shit together, handsome guy, and he still may not get no pussy. We don't control that. All we control, goddammit, is who we approach. That's the only thing we got control over, but we don't dictate none of that. That's up to the chick. When the chick feel like she want to give you some pussy, that's when it's gonna happen. It'll make a difference if you ask every day, goddammit, for the next 10 years, up until she decides she want to give you some pussy, then you ain't gonna get no pussy unless you pay for it. So a lot of motherfuckers will openly tell you shit. They deal with prostitutes because you ain't got to go through all that rah-rah. You ain't got to deal with all that, you know, with all the playing games and the back and forth. With you know, you go get you a hoe, a real hoe. Shit, she gonna come to you, goddamn it, on some, you know what the price is. It's straight business transaction, straight business. You pay for a service, you get the service, everybody's happy. But with regular girls in the street, you know, they actually really hoes when they think like that. You know what I'm saying? When it's just regular girls. That's some hoe shit. But, I mean, they hustlers, you know what I'm saying? And so, this is what it is. This is why it's so much of it's why it happens so often in the black community, especially because money is God. You know, they don't care nothing about, they may verbally say it, but their actions don't say they give a fuck about love or commitment or companionship. They don't care nothing about that. They thing is getting the resources. And see, to have to go through all that and to damage so many lives in the process so you could be straight. It is what it is. I don't agree with it at all. I think it's a fucked up decision. I don't think it's cool to put children in adult spots because they're not mentally equipped for that. And it could cost them their lives. Case in point, every day in Chicago, black boys are being killed by black boys every single day. You see what I'm saying? And that's because they don't have an adult. And that's why I always say, you know, a woman cannot raise a man, just like a man cannot raise a woman. But what a man or a woman could do is they could raise responsible adults. A woman could raise a responsible adult, be it male or female, and she could damn sure raise a woman. A man could raise a responsible young lady, and he could raise a man. That's just the way it is. They not these chicks here, these chicks with all these kids, they not concerned about that either. They don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? They really not even, as far as I'm concerned, they're not raising them. All they doing them is throwing them to the wolves to go out there and get some resources for mom. That's what they're doing. That's the main concern. Because mom ain't going to be nowhere on the set. Mom ain't finna be out on the block with you, carjacking niggas and selling dope. Mom ain't finna be working at 9 to 5 or going to nursing school or nothing with you. She going to be in the fucking cut. You going to be out there. So essentially, she pimping her own kids. That's like pimping them. You know, yeah, they're going to keep some money for themselves. Of course, they the ones that went out and made it. But you going to give me some money. As long as you stay under my roof. Or she going to kick your ass out. Or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's essentially pimping the kids. God damn it. And all that. So she could live good. You see what I'm saying? Because, I mean, granted, you can only stay where you can afford. you know. But if that wasn't the plan, it'd be a lot of homeless mothers out here. It would be a lot. But notice these motherfuckers they staying afloat, and that's why. That's the other side of the game that you don't hear about. And then if they get a little boyfriend here, that's why they always in the street, they always in the club, because they always looking for a new nigga to try to get something else from on top of the other niggas. And see, it's like a, if you don't commit to somebody, you're not guaranteed. They're a resource, but they're not guaranteed to do for you. You know what I'm saying? So, especially if you ain't giving them no pussy. And see, with the bras be so arrogant and all this and that, you got to go through all this red tape to get the pussy. Well, shit, a nigga got control over his dough. Well, he gonna say, well, shit, if she ain't fucking, I ain't trying to give her shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to do shit for her. So, there you have it. You see what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing free in this world. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing free. I mean, maybe somebody that don't know you, but a motherfucker that know you, that done been with you or been around you, you know, that's a different ball game. But I think they doing, man. That's why they okay with that. That's why, you know. But whereas if they get a husband, like I said before, a whole lot of shit that's going down in the black community wouldn't be happening if the men were there, if the men were in those households, you know. God damn it. That's the man's job. And like I said, going back earlier to the other point, as far as the like the black girls missing, I think is a result of that of that single mother household, and the black boys getting killed, shot down in the streets and all this is another result of that. But see, if you had a man there, that changes everything. It changes the way, it changes that whole system. That system could not exist with a man in the house. Because for one, the man will stand up and say, that girl don't need to be going to the laundromat by herself. She's 8 years old, she's 7 years old. You know, or going to the grocery store by herself. She's 7 years old. That girl don't need to be messing with that grease on the skillet. She's 7 years old. That's what a man's job is. Man is gonna go here first, thinking with his head, you know what I mean? And it don't make a difference. Well, I guess it kind of would, but I believe that somebody's got to be the voice of reason in that household. Otherwise, you got pure chaos. You know what I'm saying? Every idea ain't a good idea. But that's why you need a man there to balance the shit the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Or he's going to say, well, shit, let me find out my son out here selling dope. I'm finna fuck him up. Or, you know, my son did what? See, now you got consequence. But see, with the mother, with the baby mama, ain't no consequence. Because she ain't going to do nothing but turn a blind eye to all that. Hell, half these mothers out here, them type of baby mothers, they take pictures with their sons, throwing up gang signs. And who don't post a picture and look at it before they post it? So you see the gang sign there. Don't act like you don't know. Especially if you're in the hood. Don't act like you don't know a gang sign when you see one. But you sit up there and post it up like you so proud. And they are proud. Because that little gangbanging motherfucker is putting money in her pocket. And then you name him the man of the house. So he has that title now. You give a child that title of man in the house. Why? Because you can manipulate him. A real man, this is a child. An actual man, not that easy to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be game for that. See, the sons are going to interact differently with the mothers than the fathers would interact with the mothers. The fathers going to see shit the sons don't see. The fathers have a voice. The sons ain't got no voice with the mothers. Not like that. Not like a man. Yeah, you may give him the title of man of the house, but it's your house at the end of the day. So that overrules all. So once a motherfucker start trying to poke his chest out and act like the man of the house, you're going to have a problem directly with the mother. because you still her son at the end of the day. Even though you kicking out this, you're paying for that, you're giving her X amount of dollars, you're doing this, you're doing everything she say, whatever. It don't make a difference because it's still her house. And you fuck up good enough, or whatever reason, or no reason at all, she can put your ass the fuck out. See, that's the game. That's the game. You see? But if it was a man there, man's not gonna, in my mind, the average man is not gonna knowingly allow his son to be out in the streets, carjacking motherfuckers, robbing motherfuckers, selling dope and all this type of bullshit. He's not gonna knowingly do that. But these baby mamas, some of them would. And they'll act like they don't know. And you know goddamn well they know. These motherfuckers, you ain't just start getting in the streets at 35. If you a street broad, you've been a street broad since way back. You got 20 years in. So you know street motherfuckers when you see them. You know non-street motherfuckers when you see them too. You know your kids in the streets. But you don't give a fuck because you stand the gain from it. And guess what? When he get killed, like I say, I'm put the GoFundMe out. God damn it, I'm going to get that money. I'm going to get the money from the city to bury him and all this. And I ain't got to pay a fucking dime. Or, you know, because it's always a hustle. So, well, we got to pass the hat, you know, to get the family members and all this to scrape up money to bury your kid because of what? Because you sent him to the fucking wolves and put his life at stake. You know what I'm saying? And what do? These motherfuckers have 4, 5 kids, be 37, 38, and still want to have more kids. Because that's more benefits. Even if you think about the stimulus, hell, they was giving motherfuckers with kids more stimulus money than everybody else. And I understand because you got a mouth to feed. I get that. You know, but it just goes to show. They stand to gain so much more by living single than they do by being married. Because for one, look, a man is going to expect his wife to do certain things around the house. He's going to expect his wife to cook a hot meal. He's going to expect his wife to do some laundry to keep the house together. He's going to expect, you know, he may expect his wife to work, to be a productive woman. See, there's rules with this shit when it comes to a husband. But if you're just a single mother, you make the rules. And you can break the rules whenever you feel like it. See, it's full control compared to partial or no control. Which do you take? They take the full control. That's why it ain't a lot of marriages in the black community for that exact reason. The guys, we don't get no benefits from this at all. The way it's set, it's either you work or you starve, whether you selling dope or you working a job. You're either gonna work or you're gonna fucking starve. That's it. Or you could be that nigga that's still at home with his mama, going under her rules, and whatever little pennies you get, you gotta kick out to help mom. So in turn, you could remain getting pimped at home by mom, God damn it, or you're gonna be a broke motherfucker starving, or you're gonna get out there and work. That's just what it comes to. That's the 3 choices you got. They got a whole bunch of fucking options. They can go any kind of way they want with that. That shit can go on forever. And some of these motherfuckers, they ain't trying to get married. It's too much they gotta do, and it's too much. It's too much accountability in that. This here, you ain't gotta answer to nobody because it's your house. I mean, it ain't really your house. The state or the government gave you the house. I mean, you know, that's what that is. But you're still yours. I mean, well, it's still not yours, but you the adult in the house. You know what I'm saying? You make the fucking rules. They know what the fuck they doing, man. Let's just be real about it, man. This ain't no coincidence that a lot of these chicks, these sisters ain't getting married. This is by design. It's definitely by design. They can complain all they want to, but that's just game. That's just game. Because anybody with half a brain know that you can get married, goddammit, whenever you get ready. I mean, granted, you know, the guys control that because guys got to say yay or nay, but there's plenty of dudes out here to choose from. Don't let a motherfucker fool you, Jack. Motherfuckers on some dumb shit talking about, oh, well, you know, well, ain't no dudes. No, it ain't no niggas they could use out here because they all dead or in jail. You know, that's what that is. They running short on resources because a lot of motherfuckers is getting locked up because they doing the same shit. Or a lot of motherfuckers, you know, is dead. You know, so I'm just on my own. No, they would just, I think it's just they would prefer to be where they're at. But the only time it catches up is when on them lonely nights when Valentine's Day pop up or your birthday pop up and ain't no man around. That's the only time when it catches up. Any other time of the year, it's game on like a motherfucker. That's what that is. It's game on like a motherfucker. They're gonna keep playing the game and keep playing motherfuckers to keep on getting what it is they want to get. You know. And then I bust this, if you go get you a motherfucker, you know, a motherfucker that's making a nice chunk of change legitimately, a real man, and guess what? He's gonna expect you to do certain shit. They don't want to do that. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean their own house where they live at. You know, it's so much stuff. When you play it the way they're playing it now, it's so many things that get left undone because the adult, the mother, isn't seeing to it that it happens. She leaves it on the kids. And the kids don't know what the fuck they doing. Because ain't nobody showing them, oh, you know what, they're showing them a half-ass way to do it. And that's why shit get half done. It's a game. But it's always about the dough. Never fails. It's always about $1. Never fucking fails. About nothing else. $1, security, and that's their so-called independence. That's what makes them strong. Some of these chicks, you know? It's a bunch of bullshit. But I'm out, y'all. Just wanted to talk about that a little bit.